everybody, and welcome back again to Let's Play Fallout New Vegas. We're still playing the Old World Blues DLC, but I think we're finally getting towards the end of the main quest anyway. So we have confronted Dr. Morbius in the previous episode, although we didn't actually get to fight him. We basically just talked to him and he wasn't really in the mood for fighting either, so that's fine with me. But we still need to get back our brain, which is apparently in this tank, and I guess I can talk to it now?
Well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been? Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Kinda? Are you my brain? Why does my brain sound so masculine? That is a good question.
Well, as to that, you'd be surprised how hard a feminine-sounding voice modulator is to find in the Forbidden Zone. It's not as though brain-sustaining life support tanks grow on trees. I had to take what I could get.
So, it's basically the Ubisoft excuse. Animating women is too much work and too difficult. Okay, so apparently you are my brain.
Lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
You are kinda snarky. Why are you such a dick? Yeah. There's no need to be sarcastic. Meeting your own brain is a slightly odd event. Listen, you're my brain, so you'd better be more respectful. How the hell did Morbius get hold of my brain? Well, I'm still not entirely sure about this part, but I would also like to know why you're such a dick.
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote, as if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Okay, I can understand that. Of course you're responsible, you're my brain. That is also a good point. That stuff's fun. I didn't realize it caused you so much distress. Yeah, but I feel that you have a part in that as well, being my brain and all.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, that sense of righteousness and that rush you get when you help someone, do you know where those come from?
Well, tell
Glands.
me.
They come from glands, free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system. I can see how foolish your motives are.
Well, that's interesting. So basically my brain is a dick, and it's just my glands that make me empathic and whatever. But you're the source of the most of those glands, unless you're arguing that my thyroid is to blame. Well, let's throw our medicine skill at my brain, I guess.
Well, look, it's all a very complex system of biofeedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Yeah, I guess that's true, that, a lot of the important glands are in the brain, so you can't wash your hands of this. Or your glands, I guess. Admit it, you're just as glandular as I am. Oh, come on, that stuff's fun. I didn't realize it caused you so much distress. Okay, yeah, you are glandular as well, I suppose.
Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it.
Of course you are. So, don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back into my head. Yeah, I'm still wondering how exactly Morbius got hold of my brain.
After the think tank extracted me from your skull, they fell to bickering amongst themselves. I'm sad to say we were quite forgotten about. Dr. Morbius saw an opportunity to gain some leverage and had me spirited away to his dome.
Spirited away? Well, can you be any more precise? How did he manage that?
I don't know. I'm afraid the trauma of our separation rendered me quite insensate. I didn't come around until I was safely ensconced in this tank. I'm quite sure whatever he did was highly scientific, though.
So, basically, it's a mystery. A highly scientific mystery, but nobody really knows how the brain got here. That seems like a pretty unlikely coincidence. Indeed.
Hardly. Dr. Mobius keeps a close optical sensor on the goings-on at the think tank. As soon as he saw the opportunity, he took it.
Okay. Well, that answers that. On to something else. It doesn't really answer anything, but whatever.
Well, as long as your curiosity is satisfied.
I'm not sure about that. So, don't you want to be reunited?
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing.
Really?
Look
You
at
like
it from
your
my
tank?
perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety.
Mm,
Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion.
yes.
In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
But in this tank you don't have any excitement and fun and new experiences and hardly any input. I mean, wouldn't you get bored? But what about the good things? What about a cool breeze on your cheek, the smell of food, love? I'm not sure if my brain is involved in that, but okay. I can see your point. What can I do to make this a fair compromise? Too bad I've got arms, you don't. You're coming with me. Well, I can kind of see its point. It's probably safer in the tank.
If you want me back, we need to establish some ground rules.
Okay.
First, showers! Second, regular checkups. Regular, mind you, and from a reputable doctor.
Okay.
That Julie Farkas woman, for example, she seems to know a thing or two.
I think I can work with
you need
that.
to listen to me more than your hormonal choir and genitalian orchestra. Promise me that, and you've got a deal.
I would say that Hera isn't that prone to listen to her hormones, so I think this seems like a fair deal. And nothing that I need to be worried about. So what, you'd rather stay here, never leaving the tank of whatever that stuff is? Well, if you like being stuck in there so much, maybe I'll just leave you. I don't know, his demands, its demands don't seem unreasonable, and nothing that Hera wouldn't be able to compromise on. So I think you've got yourself a deal.
Really? I didn't expect you to actually agree to that. I'm afraid that was a bit of a bluff, really.
Okay.
I'm not going with you.
Well, I guess that would have been too easy. So why would you rather stay here?
Well, certainly there might be some things I miss about being ambulatory. We have seen some incredible sights, haven't we?
Right.
Jason Bright
As
and
I've
his
been
followers
saying.
launching into the vast unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Helios 1 coming back online.
Right.
But still, given the tremendous, potentially life-ending peril that went along with those, yes, I'd rather stay here.
Okay, well, in that case, I guess I will have to use my amazing speech skill to convince my own brain to come with me again. Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones? I guess that's true.
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
For example, so we had an impasse. You can't feel what I feel and I can't think the way you think. Yeah, bet you didn't think of that, huh? So yeah, where does this leave us? I mean, can we come to some kind of agreement here, brain?
Indeed, quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated. That sounds very reasonable. Well, maybe we could keep going like this. What do you think? I don't know. I have to think about this some more. So I guess I could just leave the brain here. I don't know. I would prefer to have it back just in case. You never know when you might need a brain, even though I'm working quite well without it. So let's give another try to convince the brain.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
All right. That sounds good. So what do you say, brain? Join me for some more wild adventures. maybe I have been a little unfair. If you want to stay here, I'll let you. Now let's have more wild adventures.
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem.
Of course we do.
Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Well, why shouldn't they? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted. Maybe they're not going to keep their promise. Then let's go make them share. Come on, brain, it's stomping time. But yeah, why would you think that?
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground.
Okay,
And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
That could be a problem too. What's so bad about letting the brains get out? They don't seem that terrible. I'm on the fence on this. I think they could potentially do a lot of good stuff if they would focus on the good stuff and not on all the terrible stuff that they do with their science. You're part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do. Then let's go make them share. Yeah, sure, let's use the speech option again.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
See, you like all those hormones coming from the glands. If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. I'll handle the brains, you stay here, you'll be more useful outside my head. I don't know, should I take the brain? I guess as long as I have no way of putting it back, I may as well leave it here. Yeah, I'll handle the brains and I'll come back for you once I have found a way to put you back.
That arrangement suits me fine. Do try not to get too many holes drilled in your head, will you? I may want to drop by for sentimental reasons. Right then, you'd best be off, hadn't you? The think tank will be waiting. No, don't worry about me. When you're gone, I'll flush myself over to the sink. It's amazing how far you can get in this place with a good flush.
Okay.
I'll keep myself hidden in the ductwork. Klein won't suspect I'm inside the dome, so he won't know the pacification field no longer works on us. I can also upgrade the sink's autodock with the procedures to reinstall your heart and spine, assuming you want all that flesh and gristle back. With any luck, I'll see you in the sink when this is all over.
Right. So basically, I don't actually have to come back here for the brain. And the brain will just come to me once I have found a way to put it back. Okay, I just got a bunch of updates here. Confront Dr. Klein at the think tank and end your imprisonment at Big Empty. Okay, so now I have to deal with Dr. Klein. Optional, use the sync autodock to retrieve your original heart. Use the sync autodock to retrieve your original spine. So basically, the autodock at the sync can put me back together. Alright, that should work out. But yeah, before I leave and check out this new quest... Ooh, another layer weapon. And now I'm over encumbered. But I don't need that many layer weapons. I might be able to just combine a few of them for better result. Yeah, let's combine the least repaired ones, and that's already much better. Okay, let's just look around this place a little bit and see what we can find here. I might need more scrap metal. That's a lot of mentats. But I don't think I actually need any more mentats. I have quite a few of them. This whole place is kind of a mess. I guess I'll take this. Yes, give me the ammo.
They said I was mad. Preposterous. Not an angry bone in my body. Had them all removed.
I think you are mad. But so are all the other doctors in this place. That's a lot of filing cabinets. You really like filing stuff, huh? What's down here? Oh, it's a psycho. Yeah, apparently he takes psycho to psych himself up for his super villain speeches.
Vintages.
So, what do we got over here? Another psycho. Scientist scrubs. Not sure if I need that kind of stuff. Does it have any... Well, more science, more intelligence, which I don't need, so let's just drop it. Don't have space for it anyway. Alright. That's even more mentats. There's like a toaster. Can I actually take the toaster? Nope, that's already too much. Yeah, I'm far too filled with stuff that I don't need. But I got this recon armor, so maybe I will actually use it to repair the stealth suit. That should solve my problem a little bit. There we go. And I hope I can run again. There we go. Okay, not sure if I'm finding a lot of useful stuff in here. And yeah, we have this picture again. I wish I knew who was who. I mean, I'm going to assume that this over here is Dr. Dala. But the rest, it's kind of hard to tell. But I'm going to assume it's the think tank brains and Dr. Mobius. Right. Anyway, let's move on. So, what's going on with this monitor? It's kind of broken. Oh, another toaster. My toaster will be happy. I think it's interesting that there are pre-war toasters and post-war toasters. But they kind of look the same, I think. Let's take this stuff too. Don't need any more of that, I think. This is a vacuum cleaner. Don't really need that. And I guess that's all the doors. Oh, we have a bunch of ammunition here. I will take your ammunition. Not that I really need this kind of ammunition. Alright, Dr. Mobius, I guess I will be on my way now, and, oh, Dr. Mobius scrubs. Charisma, science plus 15, intelligence plus 2. Again, I don't really need it for the stats. I mean, plus 1 charisma, but I'm not sure if that charisma is useful anyway. But it's pretty valuable, so obviously I'm going to take it. Oh, and I will take the books. Dr. Mobius glove. And yeah, let me have a look at that glove. Why do I have this in my inventory? I don't need it. Critical hit frenzy. Energy weapons -5. Persuasion -2. Again, not a weapon that I would like to use, but I can sell it. At a good price, I'm sure. And got a magazine over here. Alright, I guess that's all for the time being, or do we have like any other containers? Nope. Nope, I think that's all. Alright, so now we gotta leave and deal with Dr. Klein. I'm going to assume that this place is safe at the moment. I mean, I disabled the Robo-Scorpion. It's still wobbling around. And I guess this over here is the exit, right? Okay, let's go. Okay, and I guess I will just quick travel back to the sink. Let's travel to the balcony, because then I can quickly drop off some stuff in my chest to sell it later. Well, save, more like it. So I guess I don't really need all these layers. And Dr. Mobius scrubs can stay behind, and his glove as well. Alright, that's already slightly better. Now the question is, should I like put back my brain first and then confront the think tank, or the other way around? I don't know, can I already put back my brain? That's
you require some additional services?
I'd like to engage your services.
And rightly so, I should think. Alright then, let me just fire up the old interface for you.
Swap body parts? Maybe this is the function to put it back. There we go. Select organ to replace. Associate perks will also be replaced. Place your heart back in your chest. Reattach your spine. Of course I'm going to lose my perks then. So maybe I'm going to do this later, or maybe I'm not going to do it at all. We'll see about that. Let's deal with the think tank first. Let's go. Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. Okay, well, I think I'm prepared. So, I have weapons, I have enough ammo, I have a fully repaired armor. So, I think I'm ready to do this. Oh, suddenly, this is all in red light, and they're waiting for me. This is very ominous. But I mean, they're not hostile yet, so maybe I can just talk to them. Let's do it.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
Not quite. I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things. I think you're past due for your lobotomy, Klein. You may have noticed the pacification field is down. Guess what happens now? Oh, I didn't realize the pacification field is no longer there. Yeah, I actually have my brain now, so let's settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss. I think you're past due for your lobotomy. Okay, this is just the previous two dialogue choices. Yeah, we should talk about this.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place.
Okay, so they're trying to leave.
I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Yeah, they want to go back to the Mojave and conduct more of their terrible tests. Do you think I killed Mobius? Maybe you should confer with your colleagues first. I can't let you dissect the Mojave or let you leave. And I have like a speech option, which is also a lie. You think I'm the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Mobius. Okay. That's an interesting strategy. I'm not exactly sure where she's trying to go with this strategy, but I'm intrigued. So I'm going to pick it, just to see what exactly the idea behind this lie is.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Still not a word. Ooh, look at that. A science 100 check. Nothing is impossible for science. Mesons, lasers, atoms, brainwaves, all are in my command. That actually sounds like he would talk, so that is a pretty good impression of Dr. Mobius. Medicine 85. Countless brain extraction surgeries exist, but only one implantation one from Mobius. Okay, of course I kinda have to pick the 100 science because it's such a high skill check. And I'm going to assume that they both more or less accomplish the same. So let's do it.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice. It is Mobius.
It sounds just like
How
him.
dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure what the plan behind this lie is, but let's see. I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and he'll let you live. Okay. I think you're past due for you. Okay, this is just the same options again. So basically, I'm just trying to scare them into staying here. Sure, let's do it.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
That's kind of the problem. I will permit you to do this for me. I think you... Okay, I will permit you to do this for me. So basically, they can leave, but only on Dr. Mobius's terms. Okay.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
Well, peer review is a very important part of science, so you should work with your critics and convince them with your science and your data. But okay, apparently I just convinced them to work with Mobius. Is that what happened here? Because they just left? Can I talk to you again?
The one who defended us from Mobius. Hello.
Okay, let's talk.
Thank you for what you have done. The helping, that is. We like that. I feel an odd emotion. Gratitude? Attitude? No, wait. Gratitude. That's it.
Okay, well, you're welcome, I guess. And yeah, I don't think I need to use these dialogue options again, so goodbye.
Yes, a most goodbye.
Most goodbye. So, as far as I understand this, the idea is basically they will stay here, and if they leave, only if Dr. Mobius allows it, and basically under his supervision, so he can make sure that they don't, do terrible experiments again and maybe use their science for better purposes. I can live with that. That seems like a good compromise.
If it isn't the fascinating little lobotomite.
But let's try to talk to all the other brains as well.
The teddy bear lobotomite returns. My teddy bear. How can I assist in relieving your curiosity?
Okay, this is just the same kind of dialogue we had before.
Until our next interaction, my intriguing little lobotomite.
So I'm not sure if the other brains actually have any new dialogue now.
So is Mobius as twisted as he looked in person? Can't believe you entered the Forbidden Zone and lived. None of us can.
Well, that is some new dialogue. I need more of those worthless caps to test the CIU barter function upstairs. Well, do you have more of them?
This debugging obsession of yours really has you hooked. Either that or this is one weird hobby. Yeah, there were a few under the monitors here. Here you go. Keeps the place tidy.
Alright, so every now and then I can just get more bottle caps.
Until our next scheduled audio transmission and reception, then.
Right. You do your robot deconstructions, and yes, let's talk to Dr. 8. He's my favorite doctor of all. Because he doesn't seem quite as insane, but that's probably just because we can't actually hear what he says. So... Any new discoveries today? Okay, apparently I can just ask him, and every now and then he will give me some useful stuff. Alright. That works. And Dr. Burroughs.
Hello, Bottomite. Has it come for hellos? You'll get no such satisfaction from me.
He's my least favorite doctor because he just seems the most
The lobotomite who saved us. Hello.
Hello. Blindly operate on any poor animals recently? Probably.
Why, yes. Although the term is research. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Look at these. They seem to be found inside some of the specimens here at Big Mountain.
Okay.
I notice these results more and more now that I know to look for them. Come back anytime, and I'll show you what else I've discovered.
Alright, so he gave me some loot from Cazadot and Night Stalkers.
Until next time, then. Provided there is a next time. For any of us.
Okay, there we go. Have I talked to all of them now? I think I have. Right, so I guess that's all I had to do here? Use a sync autodoc to retrieve your original spine. Right. I guess I'm going to do that. So I gotta go back to the sink.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him over much. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
Okay.
The biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
Okay.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt.
Yeah, it probably was.
Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the big empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean.
Great.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other sink personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub.
Oh dear.
Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village.
Oh no.
It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole and created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good.
Okay.
It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches.
I see.
Although he forgot their names once too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded.
Okay.
So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
That seems like a good idea.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center. testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
Okay, yes, that's not bad. The cybernetic canine, gender female, designation Roxy, set in her guard post Annex 8. That is until her I'm in heat programming circumvented her stay routine and she loped into the Mojave. There she ran across Rex, who had been following the courier just as she had. They barked for a while. I can't read this so fast. The two of them constructed a litter of cyberpups, a small army of Boston terrifiers.
The courier left the brain at the Big Empty. A strange thing to say, but it was the truth. Brains are less important than they may seem. When the courier's body finally passed, the brain was saddened. It kept on, remembering the vessel that had once contained it. Even at the end, when it started to fail, however, the brain resisted going into a floating chassis like the think tank. It never said why. Perhaps it was out of respect for the courier's body. All things must come to an end. And to hang on to the past is something that's not to be undertaken lightly.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future.
That's
there was
nice.
Old World Blues, and New World Hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Okay, apparently that is the end. You've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Pond that's capable of transporting you and you alone between the Mojave Wasteland and Big Empty. The return to the Mojave or go back to Big Empty from the Mojave, simply equip the Transportal Ponder as you would any weapon, pull the trigger and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations and it's totally incapable of harming your enemies. Okay. Okay, it looks like I'm done. And all my appliances are happy. And they didn't put me back into the Mojave, but left me here, which is good because I still have stuff to finish in this place. And it looks like my appliances are still all here, the toaster and so on, even though the epilogue seemed to indicate that they have left. Yeah, I guess this is actually a pretty good ending. I liked that final epilogue. I think it's a perfect ending for Hera. You know, not to destroy the science, but to, you know, keep it in check, to make sure that it's not used for bad purposes. I feel that is like the perfect ending for her character of, you know, ending of this DLC anyway. So yeah, we still have stuff to do. So first of all, I have to decide if I want to put back my spine and my heart. So I guess I will do this later. They should be here now, right? Yep. Oh, the brain's actually here as well. So I might actually be able to still put it back if I want to. I haven't really made up my mind about that, because apparently it changes your perks and I'm not sure what I will get in return. And obviously we still have stuff to explore, so we will continue with that in the next episode. And I will probably do this in a slightly more edited fashion, so all the traveling in between these various facilities where I just have to fight random enemies, I will probably cut out, and I'm just going to show the actual, exploration of the facilities or whenever something interesting happens. But yeah, I guess all of that can wait until the next episode, because this one is getting long enough. So I'm going to say goodnight to the auto dog and to you as well. And as usual, thank you for watching and see you again next time.